Chapter 1. The importance of reading. Why reading matters. Life is like building a house. Your dreams and goals are the structure, and the materials you use, such as bricks, cement, and wood, represent your knowledge. Now ask yourself, how solid can your house be if you're building it with broken tools and substandard materials? That's life without reading. It's like trying to cook jollof rice without proper ingredients. You might end up with something edible, but it's definitely not jollof. Reading is not just a pastime. It's the master key to unlocking doors to opportunities, wisdom, and progress. It's how you gather the materials you need to construct the life of your dreams. Whether it's advancing in your career, solving problems in your community, or understanding the wider world, reading is the foundation that makes all this possible. Think about it. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who reads widely? It's like chatting with a human encyclopedia. They drop facts, ideas, and perspectives that make you go, "Wow, I never thought of it that way." That's the power of knowledge, and reading is the gateway to it. Why it's urgent. If you think reading can wait, think again. The world is moving fast, and those who refuse to read will struggle to keep up. It's like being in a race where everyone else is in a car and you're on foot. You may cover some ground, but you'll be left behind eventually. Also, in a country like Nigeria, where opportunities are scarce, yet in abundance, the ability to adapt, innovate, and excel is critical. Reading gives you the edge to stay ahead, no matter the competition. Reading helps you to see what others can't. These days, artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's like that one friend who suddenly shows up at every party, but cooler and way more useful. Some folks are out there proclaiming, AI is going to replace humans. Hold your coffee, it's true, but not entirely. Here's the real scoop. AI isn't here to replace you. It's here to replace those who don't know how to use it. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. And how do you make sure you're in the AI savvy club? By reading, learning, and diving headfirst into the AI pool. No floaties allowed. So, here's the million-dollar question. Are you ready to make reading your secret weapon? Because, spoiler alert, it always has been and always will be the ultimate game changer for your life, career, and even society. Time to level up. So, the next time you're tempted to spend hours scrolling through memes or watching TikTok videos, remember this. Those activities may entertain you for a moment, but reading equips you for a lifetime. Trust me, the joy and fulfillment that come with personal growth are far sweeter than any viral trend. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into how reading can shape not just your future, but also the destiny of communities and nations. For now, just know this. Every page you read is a step closer to the person you're destined to become. Ever wondered why some people seem to solve problems effortlessly? It's like they've unlocked a cheat code for life. That's the power of reading. Each page you turn is like adding premium bricks to the foundation of your dreams, making your house of success sturdy enough to weather any storm. Without reading, you risk building with straw instead of stone. Are you ready to take that chance? The reading problem in Nigeria and Africa. Let's take a trip to the streets of Lagos, where it's not uncommon to see people glued to their phones, endlessly scrolling through memes or WhatsApp forwards. Now imagine if just half of that screen time was spent on reading something meaningful. How much sharper, wiser, and more prepared would we be? Here's the thing. Reading in Nigeria is not just underrated. It's often treated as something meant only for students cramming for exams or big men showing off at conferences. On the other hand, the reality is far grimmer. A lack of reading culture has left us grappling with problems that could have been tackled if we simply made knowledge a priority. The hustle and bustle lifestyle doesn't help. Who has time to read when you're stuck in traffic for hours or hustling to make ends meet? Nonetheless, it's deeper than that. Libraries are scarce, books are expensive, and the distractions of modern life make picking up a book seem almost impossible. It's no wonder many people see reading as a luxury rather than a necessity. The consequences of not reading. The effects are everywhere: poorly informed decisions, shallow conversations, and a limited ability to solve complex problems. Think about it. How can a society progress when its people aren't equipped with the knowledge to drive development or make sound judgments? It's like trying to navigate Lagos without knowing the difference between the Third Mainland Bridge and Carter Bridge. You'll keep going in circles. Nonetheless, let's not dwell too much on the negatives, because there's hope. As challenging as it may seem, reviving our reading culture is entirely possible. It starts with understanding why reading matters and how we can make it more accessible, enjoyable, and relevant to our everyday lives. Stay tuned as we investigate strategies and solutions to address this issue head-on. Together, we can turn the tide and create a culture that values knowledge as much as entertainment. Once you learn to read, you will be forever free. Frederick Douglass. The power of knowledge. Benefits of reading. Have you ever heard the saying, knowledge is power? Now, think about it for a second. If knowledge is truly power, then reading is the fuel generator, the kind you can depend on even when NEPA disappoints. Without reading, how can you power your ideas, drive your ambitions, or navigate the challenges of life? The benefits of reading go beyond just passing exams or sounding smart at office meetings. Reading is the gift that keeps giving. The transformative might of reading. When you read, you're not only consuming information, but also advancing. Reading expands your mind, sharpens your thinking, and deepens your understanding. It's like going to the gym for your brain, except you don't need to sweat or buy overpriced protein shakes. Instead, with every page you turn, you're growing your capacity to solve problems, communicate effectively, and make better decisions. In the Nigerian context, where challenges abound, from economic uncertainties to political instability, reading equips you to be part of the solution. You can't solve problems you don't understand, and you can't understand without gaining knowledge, and you can't gain knowledge without reading. This isn't just about reading heavy textbooks or academic journals. Sometimes it's the simple act of picking up a novel, a biography, or even a well-written article that sparks the ideas capable of driving change. Reading will help achieve the following consistently. 1. Unlocking your brain's full potential. Let's start with the most important organ you have, your brain. Reading exercises your mind like jogging exercises your legs. It builds cognitive strength, sharpens your thinking, and boosts memory retention. When you read, your brain works harder to decode words, connect ideas, and imagine new possibilities. It's like adding premium oil to your mental engine. Everything runs smoother. Do you know that reading even helps you sleep better? Just imagine reading a calming novel after a long day of battling Lagos traffic. Your mind relaxes, and before you know it, you're dreaming sweet dreams instead of scrolling endlessly on social media. 2. Gaining confidence and communication skills. Beyond gaining knowledge. You're learning how to communicate that knowledge effectively when you read. Think about the last time you met someone who could hold a captivating conversation, the kind that makes you think, this person has sense. Chances are they read often. Reading equips you with the vocabulary and articulation to express yourself confidently, whether it's in a boardroom or during a heated political debate. 3. Broadening your horizons. Reading takes you places. From the dusty plains of the Sahara to the futuristic streets of Wakanda, books can transport you to worlds you've never imagined. Whether it's learning about different cultures, understanding new technologies, or exploring historical events, reading broadens your perspective and makes you see life through a wider lens. In Nigeria, where we're often boxed in by societal limitations, reading gives you the wings to fly beyond those boundaries. It equips you to dream bigger and think differently. Who knows? The solution to some of our country's toughest challenges might just be hidden in the pages of a book, waiting to be read. Empowering yourself and others. Here's the kicker. Reading doesn't just empower you. It empowers those around you too. When you're knowledgeable, You can mentor others, share valuable insights, and inspire change. Imagine being the go-to person in your family or community because you always have the right information. That's the kind of influence reading gives you, the ability to lead and uplift others. Why you should start now. So if you've been waiting for a sign to start reading more, this is it. Reading is like planting seeds of greatness in your life. Every book, article, or even blog post you read adds value to your journey. It's not just about what you gain, it's about who you become. Imagine this. If every hour spent scrolling through memes was replaced by flipping pages of a book. Reading doesn't just sharpen your brain, it's like strapping wings to your mind, ready to fly beyond limitations. From sparking sweet dreams to equipping you with solutions for Africa's toughest challenges, reading transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities for growth. So, why settle for less when a book can take you everywhere? Pick up a book today, feed your mind, fuel your dreams, and watch how reading transforms your life, one page at a time. This is the morning of your life. We've only just started. In the next section, we'll move on, like say end no day. Personal and societal growth. Through reading. Close your eyes for a moment. Okay, don't close them, you're reading this. Nonetheless, imagine a world where nobody reads. You can imagine leaders making decisions without knowledge, communities stagnating without new ideas, and you, stuck, without a clue on how to level up in life. Scary, Arby? That's what life looks like when reading takes a back seat. Reading is like fuel for growth, both for you as an individual and for society at large. It's what moves us from surviving to thriving. Let's break it down, shall we? Personal development, sharpening your edge. When you read, you're essentially upgrading your software, the entire human systems God endowed you with. Think of yourself as a smartphone. Don't worry, na high-end 1.0. Without regular updates, you'll start lagging. Reading is the update that keeps your mind renewed and ready to handle new challenges. It helps you discover who you are, what you're capable of, and how you can navigate life better. Books are like mirrors and windows at the same time. Mirrors, because they reflect your inner thoughts and feelings. Windows, because they let you see beyond your immediate environment. Whether it's a self-help book, teaching you how to turn your side hustle into a main gig, or a novel sparking ideas about life's possibilities, reading is the ultimate personal growth tool. Societal development. This is like planting seeds of change. Every page turned is another step toward a brighter future. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Think of a society where everyone reads, not just to ace exams, but to learn, ideate, and inspire. That society would be unstoppable. Reading builds informed citizens who think critically, challenge the status quo, and craft innovative solutions to pressing problems. It's no coincidence that some of the most developed and transformative nations owe much of their progress to a culture of reading. Take Europe, for instance. Leonardo da Vinci, a voracious reader, combined his love of learning with relentless curiosity to revolutionize art, science, and engineering. Then there's John Locke, the British philosopher whose writings shaped modern democracy and constitutional government. Across the Atlantic, we see Benjamin Franklin in the United States, a dedicated reader who established the first public library and used his knowledge to influence the birth of a nation. Even further down the timeline, leaders like Abraham Lincoln, a self-taught reader who devoured books by candlelight, leveraged knowledge to navigate one of the most turbulent periods in US history. Meanwhile, in 20th century Britain, Winston Churchill credited his deep reading habit with shaping his visionary leadership during World War II. The lesson is clear. Where books abound and readers thrive, societies flourish. Reading isn't just a pastime, it's a transformative force. It's the cornerstone of progress and the foundation upon which advancement and greatness are built. On the other hand, take Nigeria, for example. What if more people read about leadership, entrepreneurship, and innovation instead of spending hours debating who is the GOAT, Messi, or Ronaldo? Don't get me wrong, Football is life, and I like it, but books are the cheat code to winning in life. The ripple effect. Here's where it gets even juicier. When you grow through reading, you don't just keep the benefits to yourself. You influence those around you. Imagine being the person in your friend group who always has a fresh perspective, or the family member everyone turns to for advice. Reading gives you that edge, making you a catalyst for positive change in your circle and beyond. Communities that read together grow together. Think about book clubs, study groups, or even a casual, "Hey, have you read this?" conversation. These interactions spark ideas and collaborations that can change entire neighborhoods, towns, or even nations. The ultimate investment. Here's the gist. Reading is not a hobby, it's an investment. Can you imagine the returns? It's priceless. Personal clarity, professional growth, and societal transformation all start with the simple act of picking up a book. So, when next you're deciding whether to buy that bestseller or a fancy cup of coffee, remember, the coffee will last a few minutes, but the knowledge you gain from reading will last a lifetime. Now go ahead, invest in yourself. Your future, and maybe even your country, will thank you. A lot more awaits you in the next section. Reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. Jim Rohn. Relatable case studies, lives changed through reading. Sometimes, the best way to understand the power of reading is through stories, real-life stories. You know those people who seem to have all the answers, make all the right moves, and always know the right thing to say. Chances are, they're avid readers. Let's meet a few individuals who prove that reading isn't just for flexing vocabulary, it's for transforming lives. There's a popular saying, charity begins at home. So, let me start with my own story. I spent 10 years in the manufacturing industry, beginning as a technical operative, and working my way up to production technician, and eventually, production supervisor. While I aspired to become a maintenance manager or even hold a higher position, I found myself feeling unfulfilled despite the tangible benefits of my career. I somehow knew something was missing in my career. The trouble was, I could tell because I didn't know. But how was I going to break out of this box without reading? I soon found out I needed to know. In my quest for knowledge, I read The Power of Your Mind, a classic on mind management by Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakilome. Doctor of Divinity, Doctor of Science. You can immediately guess the outcome. Everything changed. This book offered profound insights and practical strategies that reprogrammed my thinking, helping me to align my career aspirations with personal fulfillment. Inspired by the book's message, I began applying its principles to my life, prioritizing professional development and personal growth. I initiated several self-improvement practices, focusing on personal management, career planning, and goal setting. Armed with a renewed mindset and refined skills, I transitioned to a more meaningful and rewarding career path. Within just 1 year, I achieved greater success and satisfaction than I had during the entire decade of my previous career. This experience underscores the transformative power of reading. A single book has the potential to inspire change, broaden your horizons, and guide you toward a life of purpose and achievement. The hustler who found his breakthrough, meet Tunde. He was just another guy hustling in Lagos, trying to turn his side hustle into his main gig. However, life kept showing him pepper. One day, he picked up a book on entrepreneurship. He borrowed it because book price day bite. That book opened his eyes to strategies he never considered. Fast forward a year later, Tunde's small business is thriving, and he's mentoring others on how to grow theirs. If you ask him the secret, he'll tell you, "A day for that book I read." The student who rewrote her story. Judith was struggling with academics. Everyone thought she was lazy, but the truth was, she didn't know how to study effectively. Then, she stumbled on a book about mastering learning techniques. She applied what she learned, and in no time, her grades went from E for effort to straight A's for advancement. Today, Judith is a graduate, thriving in her field and inspiring others to pick up a book instead of excuses. The leader who changed his community. Chief Gabenga, a community leader, always wanted to solve the water shortage issue in his village, but didn't know how. During one trip to the city, he found a book on sustainable development. That book became his guide. Using the knowledge he gained, he implemented a water project that transformed his village. Now everyone calls him Chief Progress. These stories show one thing. Reading isn't only about what you know, it's about what you do with what you know. Every page you read can be a step toward a better life, not just for you, but for everyone around you. In this chapter, we investigated why reading is not just a pastime, but a tool for personal and societal transformation. We looked at how reading renews your mind, equips you with knowledge, and empowers you to tackle life's challenges. From understanding its importance to seeing its impact on real life, it's clear that reading is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Now that you know why reading is essential, let's address the elephant in the room. Why is it so hard to stick to a reading habit? Why do you start a book and then abandon it halfway, only to spend hours scrolling TikTok? In Chapter 2, we're diving into the struggles that make reading feel like climbing Olumo Rock barefoot. However, don't worry. We'll also uncover how to conquer these challenges with practical strategies that make reading fun, easy, and part of your daily life. Get ready to laugh, reflect, and take notes. Chapter 2 is where we tackle the obstacles head on and make reading a habit you can stick to. Let's go.